Anna?
Is that you?
Welcome back, Honestman, Bioshock Infinite, blind first playthrough. Started off at the top there with the secret scene at the end of the credits for finishing the main story. But now we're going to jump into some DLC. Now, Clash in the Clouds, I did a very quick trial. Clash in the Clouds is just combat. It's just fighting waves of enemies, so zero story ramifications. I don't think that's really what we're after for this recording. So, Burial at Sea is more in our wheelhouse, I believe. This will be blind and my first time playing it, but I am aware from the achievements that there are audio logs, which tells me there is story to be had, which tells me it may be worth our time. So let's check it out.
We're closed.
You don't look the sort who can afford to turn down legitimate work.
What do you want?
How about we start with a light?
Well, you gotta name this.
Elizabeth. You can call me Elizabeth.
What can I do for you?
There's a girl who needs to be found. Maybe you've seen her.
This girl's dead.
You know her.
You'll see dozens of her tied down by the docks or the slums in Apollo Square. Orphans. With Fontaine's charity shut. No place for them.
But her you know.
As I said, girl's dead.
Lost.
Look, I don't know where you get...
Lost isn't dead. Name your rate, I will pay you for this work. But you do this one gratis, wouldn't you?
I don't follow.
Something tells me you will. Seems my instincts were correct.
Where's Sally?
I don't know, but I know someone who does. Follow me.
What's this girl to you?
What I need from her is my business. But I know where to start looking. Something tells me a man with your particular talents could be useful. What happened to these children? What are they?
Where have you been? A cabin in Arcadia? Little sisters. Atom factories.
It's grotesque.
Compromise? Is that why we can't keep Rapture? I could compromise.
We're just men and women, Alan. You hold yourself to that standard, you'll never be happy.
In what country is there a place for men like me? Men who refuse to say yes to the doubters and the parasites.
Yes, but even Andrew Ryan takes a vacation.
What do they even look like under those suits?
What you mean? They're just some kind of machine?
Well, I say you should have to prove you're properly versed on a topic before you're allowed to vote on it. Otherwise, it's just a knee-jerk response from the uninformed. Does more harm than good.
Who would judge that? A system like that invites abuse.
Having a benevolent dictatorship takes care of that.
Benevolence isn't human nature.
Everyone wants to cut the tallest flower out there. Do something exceptional. Those parasites resent it, condemn it, or worse yet, take credit for themselves.
Nice finally consorting with the equal agenda today. Getting recognized properly. Being part of something bigger. He works for Ryan's security firm. I got it firsthand.
Cooks a fella from the inside out. Is the damn thing a weapon or an oven?
Works with mini rays or microwaves. Oh, I can't remember. All I know is it sounds dreadful.
Funny,
What?
you're not knowing about the Little Sisters. How long have you been in Rapture?
Let's just say I don't get out much.
You've got eyes and ears, don't you?
If I wanted to share my life story, Mr. DeWitt, I would write my memoirs. If I learned anything about Rapture, that it was a place where people understood to mind their own business.
Where are we headed?
The man we need to see is in the Garden of the Muses.
How do you know?
My sources are my own, Mr. DeWitt. If you have better information as to the whereabouts of your girl, I suggest you avail yourself of it.
Where are you taking me?
When's the last time you saw Sally?
What?
She was taken from you, wasn't she?
How do you know this?
She was taken, down at Surprise. You were playing the tables and...
She disappeared.
And?
Cop friend of mine, Sullivan, says they found her floating in the docks.
You see the body?
Look.
Did you see the body? This world values children, not childhood. There's a profit to be made and men who make it. I'm taking you to one of them. Mr. DeWitt, you all right?
I'm fine. Just get these spells sometimes. It'll pass.
Refreshments, sir? Madam?
We're fine, thanks.
I went through basic, decent sort. The Italians. Papa this and Papa that. They can't take a crap without a papal dispensation.
I suppose I shouldn't have drank so much when I was pregnant. Really. I'm not changing it now.
I told her. Listen to your worries. Buy a puppy. Me? I got better things to do.
I hope that wasn't yours.
Mr. DeWitt. We'll find my source inside of that club.
Cohen? What does that lunatic have to do with Sally?
Private party. No entry without invitation.
We'll see about that.
Which business do you represent, sir?
Business?
Yes, which business?
DeWitt Investigations.
Mr. Cohen does not truck with private detectives. Masks of invitation went to artists and craftsmen alone.
I'm with the artist struggle. We're
No
expected.
mask, no entry.
Stuffed shirt.
These invitation masks he spoke of, they must have gone out to local artisans.
Well, I guess we'll have to persuade someone to loan us one.
The business of Rapture is business. Says it's sponsored by the Artist Struggle, the Golden Rule, and Rapture Records.
I guess those stores would be as good a place to start as any. What brought you to Rapture?
A man.
Really? You don't strike me as the romantic type.
Wasn't that kind of man.
Then what?
There's a debt that needs repaying.
I've known my share of Shylocks. You're no Shylock.
Wasn't that kind of debt.
taking over Fontaine's business any different than, say, eminent domain? It's just the hand of government coming down on the individual.
Fontaine was a criminal.
By whose standards? Ryan's? I prefer when the judge doesn't profit off the penalty.
Gets that from his father. No one from my side of the family was ever so lackadaisical.
Are you in the know? Innovation and competition are what fuel Rapture. But that fuel can be diluted with rumor or flat-out lies. The rumor monger asks, what are these so-called splicing side effects? Well, take a look around you. Do you see anything wrong with your neighbor? The rumor monger asks, why has Tenenbaum withdrawn from the public's eye? Dr. Tenenbaum is a scientific mind unparalleled, even in Rapture. She's no doubt in her lab, toiling away at her next great innovation. I heard she was in cahoots with Fontaine. Merely slander from jealous naysayers. Remember, Rapture competes through innovation, not cheap shots. Bridget Tenenbaum is a woman who represents the best of science and industry. In other words, she's a Rapture gal. Now you know.
They're all gone. Ryan, he's the new Houdini.
He's got him in a department store?
In Fontaine's department store. If I wanted this, I might as well have stayed in Vladivostok.
Fontaine's thugs were nothing more than a bunch of parasites. Ryan looks out for Rapture.
Ryan looks out for Ryan.
And why not? It is the sweat of his brow. We're just the gnats buzzing around, no?
Invitations to Cohen shows are highly coveted. Nobody's gonna just hand us one.
You think you can figure out a way to distract the store owner while I take a look around?
You just find the mask. Leave the distractions to me.
Welcome.
Excuse me. Lady has some questions for you.
Yes, of course.
I'm interested in this piece.
Ah, excellent. You've an eye, haven't you, miss? It's a natural sapphire and diamond, 18-karat gold ring, fully hallmarked for Paris, 1887.
That's a lot of fine talk about a stolen ring.
I beg your pardon?
Right out of her coffin in Twilight Fields. Did you think we
Cohen
wouldn't
sends
notice?
those masks out in some kind of box.
The assurances of a grave robber are of no interest to me. If you hand the ring back, the matter will remain between you and
Must
me.
be somewhere else.
I don't think so. Hit the bricks, you tramp! I'll see to it they
Get your hands off me!
Might be best if we were gone when he wakes up. Any luck?
Nothing. Let's find another shop.
Where should we look next? Upstairs at the Artist's Struggle or Rapture Records straight ahead?
It's temporary.
Temporary. Until someone puts bullet in your head.
Guten Tag.
Herr Schmidt.
Dr. Steinman told me he uses my picture to judge facial symmetry.
Darling, that line actually work on anyone before closing time.
Sexual intimacy is no different than any other commodity, friend. You sell soybeans, I sell companionship.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
That's the Bible talking, pal. That's your mother talking. What does Ryan say? Petty morality? You can keep it.
So nice that you found us.
You see that dish I walked in with? Will you give her the star treatment, pal? That'll make it worth your while.
Of course, right away.
What is this piece?
It's by Trine, but of course, covered by Mr. Arnold.
Oh, it's lovely. Isn't it lovely?
Gotta find that box.
Especially something in this vein. It's almost primal, isn't it? Part of us that exists before thought, before logic, purely sensual.
The finest music touches us in places.
That we never.
Nothing. Well, only one place left.
Oh, it's so intoxicating. Also powerful and masculine. Oh, yes, when feels the urge to surrender.
I must go. I must go. Even one more note shall prove my undoing. Nothing?
No. Got one place left, though.
And if that proves to be fruitless?
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Fontaine got taken out by Ryan's goons for one reason, and one reason only. He built a better mousetrap.
Oh, for God's sake, Armand, you want to get us both rounded up?
So you admit it, that Ryan's rounding people up.
It was a figure of speech.
The pot calling the kettle black is a figure of speech.
I keep my head low and I do my job.
Like a good German.
Now, is that a figure of speech?
Are you in the know? You've doubtlessly sampled products from Fontaine Futuristics. But do you know why Ryan Industries saved it? Frank Fontaine, business leader and benefactor of mankind? Or was he the best friend the parasite ever had? Were you aware his businesses were a front for a smuggling ring? And were you also fooled by his supposed charity work? At his free clinic, patients became test subjects, and his orphanages were places that children disappeared into and never came out. Once they learned the truth, Rapture's Central Council called for the arrest of Fontaine Futuristics' owner. But, a coward to the end, Fontaine found a hail of bullets preferable to facing justice. The council asked that Ryan Industries assume the burden of stewardship of Fontaine's ill-gotten assets. And Andrew Ryan accepted that burden for the people of Rapture. Now all citizens can enjoy these products, free of criminal taint. Now you know.
Why are you wasting your time with that? Amazing what a few months' peace and quiet has done for the general mood.
All them orphanages and poorhouse did was to encourage the takers. Give a man a hand, he'll take an arm.
Take your time. Take it all in.
Hey, pal. You want to help out the little lady?
Yes, of course. Interesting, isn't it? Original Sander Cohen. He calls it miasma.
I'm sorry, but I know precious little about art.
Where is he hiding that box?
I don't want to open my mouth for fear of what foolishness might tumble out.
There you are, you little son of a bitch.
Oh, I would like so much to understand.
In this piece, Cohen intended to show us the struggle of a great man, condemned to breathe the swampy air of the parasite.
You see all that in that little picture?
Yes, in fact.
Now, did your companion go...
You've given me so much to think about. I feel a trifle swoony. Would you mind if I return tomorrow for further education?
I shall be here at your service. Until tomorrow.
Good. I've located the mask.
Third time's the charm.
All right. It's best we head back to Cohen's.
Fine piece of work back with those shopkeepers. You've got a bit of the grifter in you.
For that, you can thank my father.
Oh, yeah?
He was a man comfortable in a variety of roles.
Buongiorno, signore.
So, what kind of field you in?
Field?
Yeah, you know, occupation. Can't imagine what kind of employment would lead you to tag along on a job like this.
I suppose you could say I work in debt collection.
Suchong observed strangest of coincidences. On other side of a window, man in strange hat experimenting on Suchong's own creation. On plasmid. Man name of Fink. Outrage! Theft of intellectual property! But man name of Fink is no fool. Through addition of oxidizing agent, turns plasmid ingestible through stomach lining. Mr. Ryan very impressed with Suchong's initiative. Theft of intellectual property, two-way street.
Get on with it. Do you have any idea how valuable my time is?
Ryan's been good to me. Few are the patrons who truly understand the struggle of the artist. But even I was a little leery when he shuttered Fontaine's business and sent that bald buck to a grave deep in the briny. But when Ryan buried all of Fontaine's pals in that department store, someone had to find a home for all those freshly minted orphans. And if I turned $1 or $2 in the process, you can hardly blame me for doing well by doing good.
This better work. Otherwise, we'll certainly look the fools.
Trust me.
Ah, very well. Mr. Cohen awaits your participation at his performance.
So who is this fellow Cohen? Some sort of underworld figure?
Worse. He's an artist.
An artist who kidnaps children.
Cohen's muse is a bit more diverse. I've seen this type. Gets an idea in his head, end a conversation. Don't matter who gets hurt.
Dance! Dance! Move! Move! That's Be the conduit! Open yourselves to the music! To the spirit of the eternal! No. Why do you fail in this fashion? To embarrass me in front of my muse? My muse shall not be mocked. Fitzpatrick! Please! Thus...
Enter, for God's sake!
My muse shall not be mocked! Get them out of here! There shall be no failure on my canvas. Oh, there's no room in Rapture anymore for the artist. Who are you?
Name's DeWitt.
Is that right? My. This one's a real biscuit. Isn't he a biscuit, lady?
I need to ask you a few questions.
Questions? Yes. Yes. It is the work of man to ask. It is the work of the artist to answer.
You've seen this girl, haven't you?
We artists see more than most. You are more than you claim to be, little songbird. Are you not? Watch this one, DeWitt. She'll take you where you don't want to go. But I know the child in that photo is important to you. So many children flit, flit, flit away. I know where the girl is. And I will send you to her in exchange. All I ask is a dance.
What?
I see something in you two. Art strips away artifice. Show me who you are, and I will show you where you need to
Listen,
go.
Cohen, you son of a bitch.
Mr. DeWitt.
What?
Dance with me.
Come, dance!
I shudder to think what greater price he might care to extract.
Fitzpatrick! Beauty and pain. They can be no more separated than birth and blood.
What do you think Cohen's customers do with the children? Do they?
Sometimes. But those types lack the capital of people like Ryan and Suchong.
That's a blessing.
You saw those little sisters? You so sure? But if Suchong had Sally, I'd know it.
How?
Because I tied him to a chair and asked him.
So?
For 15 hours.
I don't know what to make of you, Mr. DeWitt.
Listen, we're not gonna keep...
Fitzpatrick! I see suffering in you. I know how to shine a light on your pain. A moth will become a butterfly.
Mr. DeWitt! Mr. DeWitt! Are you all right?
I'm fine.
You were dreaming. You kept saying your daughter's name, Sally.
She's not my daughter.
I thought...
Pain and beauty. To an artist, they are parent and child.
Cohen?
I'm sending you to find your young one. No need to thank me. I'm not so sure you'll like what you find.
Look,
Fontaine's. Ryan sent the whole thing to the bottom.
but it's a prison now. Why would Cohen have sent Sally there?
I don't know.
Everyone has needs. I merely provide a service for those who have the means to pay. You'll find your little bird in the housewares department.
How many people do you suppose Ryan's got locked up in that place?
Enough. Fontaine had amassed something near an army. Now they're down there, spliced up and wild. All right, there's a dock up ahead.
Takes a cold son of a bitch to do that to a living person.
What's that?
Barrier, let's see.
You read your residency contract with Ryan Industries? In perpetuity, we're all buried at sea.
Don't get too comfortable. Keep your eyes open.
Seem to be some supplies this way, Mr. DeWitt.
It's Booker.
What?
Just call me Booker.
If it's all the same to you, let's leave it at Mr. DeWitt.
Okay, I think that's going to be a good place to wrap. This one might be short as a consequence, but we've got our feet wet a little bit, no pun intended. And we'll pick up next time with Elizabeth and Booker in Rapture. Thank you all so much. Please like and subscribe. This has been Honest Man, and I will see you next time.